It's a project of international interest. The Poschiavino will also be rewilded and freed from its tight constraints. I think that young people in particular will see that renewable energy has a future. Europe is in the midst of an energy transition. More and more electricity is being generated from the wind and sun, and the trend is increasing. But solar and wind power are irregular sources of energy. That's why solutions are needed for storing the electricity as it's produced and releasing it again when it's needed. This is just what pumped storage power plants are designed to do. The Swiss Alps, with their huge height differences and enormous water storage capacity, these mountains play a key role in our energy future. In southeast Switzerland, on the border to Italy, lies the Poschiavo Valley. This is where an ultra-modern pumped storage power plant is taking shape. The Poschiavo Valley is the perfect place for a pumped storage plant. It has two lakes, Lago di Poschiavo and Lagobianco, that already generate energy. The difference in altitude between the two reservoirs allows a very powerful plant to be built with an installed capacity of more than 1,000 megawatts. And the 380 kilovolt Bernina transmission line is already in place to connect the plant to the grid. There's a long tradition of pioneering hydropower in the Poschiavo Valley. When it was built over 100 years ago, the Campo Cologno plant was the biggest high-pressure hydroelectric installation in Europe. With the concessions for the existing hydropower plants due to run out, a decision had to be made on how to harness the power of water in the valley in future. The environment, new technologies, and the changing needs of the market were all taken into account. Ray Power came up with an innovative project together with environmental organizations, the Fisheries Association, and the authorities. The project was also discussed regularly together with the local population.
Für mich ist es unter dem Strich ein Win-Win-Projekt.
For me, it's ultimately a win-win project. Although it involves vast interventions in the natural environment and the landscape, it'll also be accompanied by some great remediation and compensation measures. For example, we'll be able to upgrade 30 kilometers of waterways and rewild some parts of them, and of course construction will be done as sensitively as possible. Given that it wouldn't have been possible to do much more, we are 100% behind the project.
Und daher stehen wir voll und ganz hinter diesem Projekt.
The key is that this project, along with other projects that are underway, will help our valley to thrive. It's important that it be a place where people work in various areas and not only in tourism. That's what's special about the Poschiavo Valley. Lagobianco is a lake 2,200 meters above sea level. It will be the upper reservoir in the planned 1,000 megawatt pumped storage plant. A look inside the mountain shows how it works. An 18-kilometer long pressure tunnel and a steeply angled 2.5-kilometer pressure duct will connect Lagobianco and Lago di Poschiavo to create a single system. A water intake will be built close to the bed of Lagobianco, and behind this, an access tunnel will lead to the Cambrena equipment chamber. To generate electricity, water flowing out of Lagobianco will first go through the pressure tunnel, joined by additional water from a water catchment in the lake of Palu Glacier. Access tunnels will be built in Somdos and Kanchang for the drilling work and subsequent maintenance. There will also be a water catchment in the Aqua de Kanchang side stream. The water will continue down the pressure tunnel towards Motta da Ton, where a surge tank will even out fluctuations in pressure. Another access tunnel will be built in Motta da Ton. Here, the pressure tunnel will feed into the pressure duct, which will take the water down a steep incline towards Camp Martin. A further access tunnel will be built halfway down, in Torn. Camp Martin is where the heart of the pumped storage plant, the powerhouse, will be located. Here the water will be passed through the turbines at high pressure. A shaft will transfer the power to a generator to produce electricity. After the turbines, the water will continue to flow towards Lago di Poschiavo, entering around 30 meters below the lake surface. The electrical energy generated by the turbines will be fed into the existing international transmission grid via a 1.7-kilometer-long underground cable line and a new substation. It's the other way around when Lagobianco's in pump mode. Here the plant will take electricity from the grid. The generator now acts as a motor, driving the pumps via a shaft. That's how the water is brought from Lago di Poschiavo back up to Lagobianco. There it'll be ready to generate electricity again when required.
Penso che l'opportunità è un'opportunità sicuramente per la Val Poschiavo.
This is an opportunity for the Poschiavo Valley. 100 years ago, important pioneering installations were built in this valley. These plants are still running perfectly, but they're no longer up to the requirements of the market. Thanks to this project, we can build a state-of-the-art plant and open up the future of energy for the next generations.
Un impianto a passo coi tempi ed aprire le porte per un futuro energetico delle prossime generazioni.
This project will certainly help the valley grow.
Sinceramente, se parlo per me stesso,
I would honestly like to see an upswing in my industry, for me, for the whole community of Brusio, and for Poschiavo as well.
tutto il comune di Brusio e anche per Poschiavo.
For the engineers and construction experts, the Lagobianco project represents a challenge. An underground system more than 20 kilometers long will be hewn out of the rock, longer than the Gotthard Road Tunnel. Construction will go on all year round, even though harsh winter conditions prevail for almost half of the time. To reduce construction time, underground work will proceed on several fronts at once. Most of this will be done using tunnel drilling machines, although the access tunnels and part of the pressure tunnel will be blasted out with explosives. You have to realize we're talking about thousands of cubic meters of material that have to be processed. This is bound to cause some inconvenience. Materials will be managed and processed with the greatest of care. As much of the excavated material as possible will be recycled for use in the project. The height of the retaining walls at Lagobianco will be increased by 4.35 meters, and in the north, a dam will be built specially designed to fit into the surroundings. Various remediation measures will ensure that the project is kind to the environment. At the northern end of Lago di Poschiavo, filling will be used to create a separate satellite lake that's unaffected by fluctuations in water level, providing a valuable habitat for flora and fauna. The Poschiavino, the river running through the valley, will also be environmentally upgraded. Along with strict ecological supervision throughout the entire project phase, this will ensure that the environmental footprint is positive. It's an important project, the project of the century in our valley. It's going to occupy the community and local population for many years to come. It's a unique project, a challenge we plan to master together. The Lagobianco pumped storage plant is a quantum leap forward for Canton Graubünden. It's the only power plant of this size and installed capacity that we have. Maybe our children and grandchildren will say, "Congratulations, you did a good job." The Lagobianco project represents the future of our valley. The 1,000 megawatt Lagobianco pumped storage power plant shows that economic interests and environmental requirements are not mutually exclusive. Even during the construction phase, the project is creating economic impact within the region and also far beyond. Renewable energy will play an increasingly important role in our lives. The new plant will provide the storage capacity to help make this happen. Lagobianco, a step into our energy future.